Okay, so in this video we'll see how to transfer C elegans from one plate NGM agar plate to the other plate. Okay, so this method of transferring worms is called chunking, in which we will will cut one piece of or one chunk of agar from this plate which is already having worms and transfer it to the new plate. So this chunking process is done by this sterile transferring spatula, and then we're going to cut a piece of agar, and it should have a lot of worms over here that I can see them. So I'll make a square piece of agar chunk like this, and I use the same thing to transfer this piece of agar from this plate to a new plate. And I'll put this upside down. This plate already has E. coli in them, so that's the food for them. I'll dispose this, and now a new plate of C. elegans with lot of worms will be here. We'll incubate them for 2-3 days in 21 degrees Celsius, and then we'll have a lot of worms crawling around the central patch of agar. So we're gonna transfer 4 of them today, and this is the first one, which is 5901. This one is CZ1632. This has already the worm. This is a new plate, and I always keep them on batches so that we don't have confusion regarding the strains we are using. So I see a lot of worms here. You can see them on clumps, so they are mostly stressed now. So we're gonna cut a chunk of agar again, then use the same thing to transfer it here. Put this upside down, a gentle touch, and your new worm plate is ready. So make sure you use a different piece of plastic spatula, and should be sterile before you touch them on any of the agar plates, and you do not use the same spatula again to transfer the different strain of worm. So this is the second one. Similarly, the same thing. There is a new plate, this is an old plate, and then we're gonna use a sterile spatula again to transfer the worm. We'll cut a chunk of agar from this plate. We're gonna gently, sometimes it flies away. It's very hard to control that, so be careful when you transfer the piece of agar from one plate to the other. This is the third one. We always keep this upside down even in the incubator to avoid any humidity. This is another stock of agar getting ready for preparation of plates. So this is the most common method we use to transfer the worms. Again, we will cut a chunk of agar from the old plate, and you need to do this chunking or transfer every 4 to 5 days. And if it's growing slowly, maybe a week, but 3 or 4 days are enough to grow a lot of worms in the same plate. I already transferred 4 of them, and this is Alex 929, which is another strain. This one is old plate, this is a new plate. I'll use another sterile spatula to transfer this one. I'll cut the piece of agar, then I'll hold it, and then transfer it to the new plate. I always keep a circular patch of E. coli bacteria on the plate so that I can see them growing. So this is the LX929. You can always match the name so that you don't contaminate the streams. Now this is ready to be stored in incubator, and I'll show you how we place them. So this is the incubator we use. It has always temperature of 20 degree or 19 degree, which is obviously good for worms to grow. And we'll put them in batches. This is a new one, and this is a new one, and this is the old one. You can see a piece of agar which is transferred from here to here, and we'll put them always together so that we can see whether the worms are growing or not. If not, we have to cut another piece of agar, the same CZ1632. We'll put them together. Same for the other strain, NL5901. We'll stack them together, and we'll always put them upside down to avoid any formation of humid bubbles. Same way, LX929, put them together, and the final ERS100. So this is a new plate, this is the old plate, and put them together. Close the door, and you have to maintain a constant temperature of 20 degrees for the worms, to grow. If you want to double check if your worms are transferred or not, you can use a microscope to see whether the worms are there or not. Which is, I need to turn this on, then you can always have a look whether you have worms in your new plate or not. And this is the way you can check whether your transfer or chunking was successful or not. So if you see that, and I focus them on the new plate, you can always see the worms crawling out, which basically says that yes, your transfer of worms was a success, and your new plate has a lot of worms. This one is the old plate, which has like millions of worms over there. If I zoom in, you can see that the worms crawling around, and then the new plate, worms trying to come out of the plate, come out of the agar chunk. Yeah, so this is the whole process of transferring the worms, and thank you so much for watching.